Okay, so let's do a quick example with an interface that extends multiple other interfaces, multiple inheritance. So let's go with a very generic, boring interface called person. And a person just has a name, and it's a string. Okay, keep it easy. And then we'll have an interface for a worker, an employee, something like that. And an employee will have an ID that's a number. And let's say their ID isn't going to change, so we'll make it read only. That's kind of extra for this video, it doesn't matter. And they also have an email that's a string. Okay, and then finally, we'll have a third interface, and this one will be an engineer. And engineer is going to extend, or extends with an S, person, and then with a comma, I can list a second or more interfaces to extend. So now an engineer has to have a name, an ID that's read-only and numeric, and an email, and then whatever else in here, like, specialty or level. And that, let's say level is a string, like junior, entry level, senior, whatever, and then languages or skills or something will be a string array. Okay, and now to make an engineer, let's go with const Toby. I always use Tony. Toby and Tony, too similar. How about const Pierre of type engineer equals an object that has a name of Pierre and an ID, that's Pierre's ID. And then we've got to have an email in there, pierre@gmail.com. And then let's just hover and it will complain that I'm missing level and languages. And first, last, and say hi. Oh, here we go. I forgot. I already have an interface person established up high somewhere in here, don't I? Yes, I do. And what did I do down here? I have my original person interface. I just reopened person and added name. So that's not exactly what I intended to do. I didn't make a separate interface called person. The interface person now has a whole bunch of stuff from before, ID, first, last, nickname, say hi, and regular old name. So instead of person, let's go with human, just to keep them separate and keep this video a little simpler. Human, and down here, now all we're missing is level and languages. So let's say level is senior, and languages will be an array that has, let's say, JS and Python. And I'm missing a comma there. Okay, so we have a valid engineer, right? This implements everything from that type. And engineer itself just defines two different properties in their types, but it extends human and employee at the same time. So that's an example of multiple inheritance. We can have an interface that extends 2, 3, 4. I mean, you probably wouldn't do that many, but you can other interfaces.